Hey everyone, it's Rajiv and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be giving my book review of The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. Before I start talking about this book, I want to say that I post videos daily in my channel, so if you like my videos, then please do like and subscribe. The Graveyard Book is a children's fantasy book, and the story starts off with this man named Jack who enters this house in the middle of the night and murders a family. The main character of the book, who is the baby of the family, leaves the house not knowing that Jack has targeted him to be murdered next, and the baby somehow stumbles upon a graveyard. The graveyard is filled with a lot of supernatural entities, so this old ghost couple, Mr. and Mrs. Owen, they sense that the baby is in danger and they decide to take him and raise him themselves, and they name the baby as Nobody Owens. The book then continues with all the adventures that Bod, short for Nobody, has in the graveyard while he grows up as an adult, not knowing that Jack, the killer, is still after him even after all these years. This was such a unique, creepy, fun book to read. I don't think there is any other book that can capture the terror, humor, love, family, adventure like this book does. The author has actually mentioned in the acknowledgements that he was inspired by The Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling, where each chapter is an adventure of its own, but put together, there is an overall bigger story happening. This is what the Graveyard Book also exactly does, but in a more gothic and macabre setting. I cannot even pick up one particular chapter that I liked because I thought all the adventures that Bod goes through was so wonderful and interesting. I loved Bo's adventures with Scarlet, this girl that he meets in the graveyard, in the beginning and in the end, when he gets enrolled in school and these students start bullying him, and also when he leaves the graveyard to buy a headstone for the witch who is living in the graveyard. Even though this is supposed to be a children's book, there are truly some very creepy scenes that terrified me. Like when they go down that passageway and see the Indigo Man and the Slayer, or also towards the end when Jack finally finds out where Bod is and resumes trying to kill him. I also love the supporting characters that Bod meets in his adventures, like Miss Lupexcu, am I saying that right? And Lisa Hemstock. Lisa? I'll say Lisa Hemstock. I also loved Bod's chemistry with Silas and his parents, where they wanted nothing but the best for him and they tried their best to protect him from the outside world. And where they taught him whatever they could from being in the graveyard. Neil Gaiman is one of those authors who can write in any genre and it will turn out to be pure gold. The characters are so distinct, the settings are so vivid, and the adventures are so memorable in the story. I think I love this book more than I loved reading Coraline because even though there is a lot of fantasy elements included in the book, there is also a touch of harshness and reality that you can connect to. The author really makes you want to root for Bod and step into his shoes where he wants to see and experience the whole world, and sometimes he feels like he is trapped inside the graveyard. The author also beautifully blends the horror that adults would probably get when they read this story, but he covers it with this childlike innocence that even younger readers would enjoy. Probably the only part of the book which I thought was very random and which I couldn't really connect to was when Bod goes with the ghouls of Gulheim and he has a small adventure there. It was still a fun chapter to read, but it did not really make that much sense. Apart from that one chapter, I thoroughly enjoyed reading this book. The story also ends in a very bittersweet manner where you can understand it had to end this way, but you're still hoping that things work out for Bod. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but I just wanted to say that I felt really bad for Bod in the end, and I wish that things had worked out better for him. Overall, The Graveyard Book is a very interesting, short, creepy, fun book to read, and I would give this book a rating of 4.5 out of 5 stars. Again, if you enjoyed watching this video, then please do check out my channel for other book related videos and reviews. Please do show your support by liking and subscribing, and until next time, bye.